Hello, and I am back. I have my Skellies all hooped up, and I've got my embroidery stand, some black fabric here so that you can see better what I'm doing on the video. It's quite thin fabric. I also have my thread, my needle all threaded up, my embroidery scissors, and I have my little batty friend in the background for moral support. Now, I did notice something when hooping up that I want to mention. Here is the original pattern, which we traced in the previous video. And now, once hooped up, I want to see that if I line up the edge of this guy's shoulder here, you'll see that the pattern has actually stretched a fair amount once it's in the hoop, because of course once you put tension on your fabric, everything is going to expand. And I just want to point out a few things you can do. This guy's head is just a little bit stretched, so I'm just going to pull that back a bit. We've still got quite decent tension there. I'm just going to do the same on the other side a little bit. And now what I normally do is hoop up first with my fabric and then trace, because this was such a big design, so I'd have a go at doing it the other way. So either works, and it obviously doesn't matter too much if your design expands slightly, unless of course you are planning on fitting it in a very specific frame. And if I get my my mount board from my frame, this is still going to fit nicely, so I have avoided a tragedy there. But yeah, so I think they look great the way they are. I've double checked that nothing has stretched too much. There we go. The other thing I'm going to say is I have this at the bottom here because when I hoop up, I like to either have a lot of room around my design or make sure that this area in particular is away from the main design. So I'd normally put this to the top, but I don't want the fabric grain to interfere. Let me show you what I mean. So let me refocus. You can see just where the gap is, you get just a little bit of grain warpage just there. So I don't want that to affect my Skellies. So I've put that to the bottom, and I think that's everything that I wanted to cover in terms of once you're hooped up and what to watch out for. And now I'm going to get on with the stitching, of course. So I have my thread and I'm working with ecru. I ran out and got myself a load of extra just in case I needed it. I don't think I'm going to need that much, but it's always good to have some extra to hand. I suddenly thought, oh my god, I'm doing a stitch along. Do I have enough thread? It's always the case, isn't it? Do I have enough thread? Right, so I am going to start, I think, with this guy in the middle. Shall I start with him? Yeah, I think I'm going to start with him and then work outwards from the middle. Seems like a good idea to me. And I'm working with a single strand, but I shall see as I go. I'm going to start with the smaller pieces and then go in for the larger ones. So I may move up to 2 strands, but I'm just going to do a long and short satin stitch and just kind of feel these up, and hopefully we will get a really nice kind of white on black effect. So I'm just going to, right, I've had to go and get Say hi, Snoop. Because he was having a bark. Right, you gonna be good? Are you gonna be well behaved now? He says, I'm not sure about this. Let's have a sniff. What do you think? Yeah, I think he approves. Right, you're gonna go in your basket and stop barking so that I can stitch for the nice people. He says, nah. So if there's barking, apologies. I have some technical difficulties with my hound. Right, so I'm going to have a bit of a stitch and then I shall probably come back when he is all finished. It will be interesting to see how long this takes to stitch up. I'm quite fond of long and short stitch. Everyone has their favourite stitches, but long and short stitch is very much the bread and butter of embroidery. Unless you are more of an outline stitch type person. I think I'm just going to go around with tiny stitches and get the outer shape done, and then fill in the middle of things. Snow is having a bark. There appears to be a local concert going on at the primary school near me. I do pick the best days. So I have been waiting for a break in the music to start my video. I do tend to like the very small stitches, but do not feel like you have to go as small as me. I think I actually have a problem. The dreaded knot. Let's see. I do love these. Got this one quite quickly as well. Right at the beginning. So I like to give mine a bit of a stab with a pin. It's always therapeutic to stab something when it annoys you. I know. So I had a camera malfunction right while I was talking about stabbing things. I did go on to say that outside of embroidery it's probably not a good idea to go stabbing things that annoy you, but yeah, my camera ran out of memory, so again more evidence to my consummate professionalism. I didn't get too far though before double checking. So I've managed a couple more ribs. But I think we'll get faster when we get past the small fiddly pieces. So Funny how you never really know how long something's going to take to stitch up until you've started. Will that do? Also, a bit OCD about filling all the gaps. And I've had to learn to kind of curb that a bit, because it's actually part of the, I think the charm of embroidery is you can see something is stitched. So, right, we're onto a bigger area. But yeah, filling all the gaps doesn't always give you the best look. I do have a thing for the really small stitches. But then that might also be to do with the fact that it's very therapeutic to fill all the gaps. Embroidery is definitely one of the more calming hobbies that I've had. People assume it's just going to be tedious, but I've run out of thread already. But I think there's definitely something to be said for things that take time and slowing down. We don't do enough slowing down nowadays. Right, now I love this this stand. It's great for video because it doesn't move at all, but when it comes to turning your hoop over to tie things off, it's just a pain in the butt. Let's see if I can zoom out and show you. So it turns, and then you gotta kind of get to the back. So this will be the only time I do a knot on camera. You do not want to watch me turn my embroidery stand upside down every single time I finish a piece of thread. It is not particularly thrilling. So there we go. I think once is enough. Right, I think with this one I will go around the edge. I don't think I'm going to back stitch or anything super neat. Just kind of get a rough edge to everything. Stay in the spirit of long and short stitch. And of course, do feel free to use more than one strand. I think what I'll do is I'll finish off this large bone, and then I will go away and come back when I've made a bit more progress. we'll do some live stitching in between, so you can come and join me for a bit. But there we go. I think I've got an idea of the stitch direction I want to go with this area. It's always hard when you come to kind of round areas. And your stitches are obviously straight. You kind of go, well, how am I going to tackle this? Kind of get into a groove and find something that works for you. I do love the sketchy style of long and short stitch. I've seen it made quite uniform and neat, but I do like kind of feel you get when you take a pencil and you kind of colour something in, and it's shh. That's the sound effect the pencil makes. So yeah, it's quite nice to recreate that kind of graphic feel with stitches. It's the handmade element. I do think these guys are going to look great when they're finished. And it's so nice to be doing this with others. I very much look forward to seeing all of your Skellies. I do think this may take go over the weekend, this project, considering how long this one bone is taking. Tempted to do a pop quiz. How many bones are there in a human skeleton? Problem is, I have absolutely no idea. I could look this up and I could do a quiz, but my ability to multitask is non-existent. You were just about getting coherent sentences out of me while I'm stitching, and I think that's going to be your lot. I go much faster when I am not talking rubbish. So I think I might do a little sped up section now to save you from watching me make like 100 stitches to fill up one bone. Right. Do some exciting long stitches first. Do like large straight areas for progress. Get a lot more done. There we go, look at that. Room. Speed. I think I will stop here now and do a little sped up video section for you. because this will take me a while and ain't nobody got time for that. So, ooh. There we go. I think one more stitch. Just there. Right. And that looks good. Yep, I do like that. I am going to have a go with 2 strands now on this bit here. So let's see how I get on with that. Right, I think that just about finishes that one. So, all in all, I think as this takes less time, I think I'll do most of the large areas in 2 strands, and then maybe go over the little detailed areas with 1 strand. Yeah, but both work. This one you can get the finer details. This one takes less time, so if you haven't started yet and you're trying to decide between the 2, hopefully that'll help. Now I'm going to go and finish some more of the stitching, and I shall leave you to get started with your Skellies and be back tomorrow. So ta-ta my lovelies, see you soon.